Representative James Gallagher from California, who understands this well. The same policies in Canada are also in place in California, led to the Palisades fire and other problems there. Congressman, I understand like outside the Palisades, right? It's closed. It's a residential community, complete malfeasance and malpractice. But Canada's kind of a big place. They've got a lot of trees up there. What could they be doing differently?
Well, I mean, this all started, it's the liberal, woke, democratic, socialist mindset. These guys tell us that we can't manage our forests, we can't cut timber, that we should just preserve our... And what they become is a bunch of tinderboxes. And by the way, we're told that we should do this in the name of the environment. But when these forest fires happen, these forest fires that are the direct result of doing nothing in the forest, this is what we get. Smoke-filled air, pollution, more carbon emissions, than you could shake a stick at. And I mean, so this is the result of bad policy.
Yeah, I heard 800 million tons of carbon emissions. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like a lot of 747s flying around to me. The Prime Minister of Canada blames the United States for their problems and fires. Take a listen.
What do you say to elected officials in the U.S. who are asking Canada to do more to avoid that the north of the U.S. every year sees the smoke from the wildfires? We need a contribution from the Americans in the fight against climate change. And I'll give you one example. Now we're putting the emphasis on investments in clean energy. In the U.S., there are now prohibitions. They're against clean energy.
Do you understand that?
No, it makes absolutely no sense. And again, these guys can't even get climate change right. I mean, they say they're doing something about emissions, and they're blowing emissions out the back. And the way that they do it, this is the stuff that they want us to do. They want us to get rid of our perfectly good truck that we bring food to your table on, right? They want us to get rid of our tractors, right, to meet their climate agenda, their climate cult. And then this stuff happens, right? Who suffers? We do. We are the ones with the smoke-filled air. We are the ones that have our towns burned down or incinerated by this crazy policy. And so, again, it's like...
I know the Paradise Fire did for you. I think about people who get hurt. This is what's happening in Canada. Wild, this freight train video. But... across all of the Midwest, this is where I'm from, up in northern Michigan, but from Duluth, Minnesota, the Boundary Waters, all the way down through Wisconsin, northern Michigan, through Ohio, out to Pennsylvania, through New York State, there's about 2 months that people make their money on the tourism industry. And my mother told me today that outdoor restaurants aren't even allowing people to sit outdoors. This is in the summer in northern Michigan. It is killing the American economy. I know Trump said that there's going to be tariffs for reparations. That seems like an awful, hopeful way of looking at this.
Well, I mean, the thing we really need to do is get this policy right. We need to get back in the force. As Mike Rowe
was saying,
hey,
we need to prevent this right now. Really?
Right. We need to get people, just like we need to get people back welding again, we need to get people back in the forest, real foresters again. Managing that forest, taking out the dangerous undergrowth. You could really do that in Canada with all the forests they have? Absolutely we could. But we've gotten away from that ethic, that conservation ethic, and instead have this preservationist, like, don't do anything in the forest. Leave it completely preserved, which is what it is a tinderbox. That's what it ends up being. And you nailed it. I mean, look, the recreation industry is huge here in Northern California, and we've had fire after fire. It's ruined that economy.
Yep.
Many people don't come because, who wants to go recreate in smoke-filled air?
No, you can't really go for a walk outside. My wife went for a 10-minute walk and said her eyes were watering. It was terrible. It's unbelievable here. Congressman, thanks for joining us.